Hello, my lovelies.
Welcome to Puglia.
You recognize this place if you watched my videos from the wedding. Here I have Prada coat, Prada bag, Gucci boots. First time I came to Puglia, it was March 2011. I remember the first impressions when I saw coming from Zurich, which was very cold and cloudy weather, and seeing that sun and beautiful bar and cafes and these balconies all over. I fall in love and I said to myself, I'm going to transfer here. 6 months later, I already had my first apartment in Lecce. At the time, I had no idea that my future husband and love of my life is actually living in Lecce town. I was just following my intuition, and my intuition brought me here. I felt so happy, like that kind of energy I needed. I received many of your questions regarding how I met my husband, how to recognize a true love, and so on. I have to say that I met my husband during work, and we worked together on one project regarding a fast rail. This is not the project for which one I came to Lecce, to Salento, Puglia, but afterwards I had several different projects, and somehow from the tourism I put my focus on railway and fast rail, and that was the reason why we met. We worked 8 months close on one project and one tender that we got together. I was the one forming joint venture, and he was the president of one consortium that was part of that joint venture. And since then, our love is lasting until today. We met through work. It's time for lunch, and now we're going to have a lunch in a new restaurant in Lecce. We've never been before. I know it's not the best time of the year for oysters, but I had to at least taste 3 of them. I couldn't resist. Food was excellent, service also. Only my spaghetti con le vongole were a little bit too salty, but it's something I often notice by the restaurants, that probably because this type of the cozze is salty from the sea salt, and then spaghetti, which are normally salted, adds extra, and I'm not really a big fan of salt. We finished our day in a Christmas shopping for my husband. Four days, 4 outfits. Hello, my lovelies. We are on the way. We are on our way to Gallipoli. It's a beautiful small old city, like an island. We are going to have a lunch in a beautiful restaurant on the sea. One of my favorites. It's called Mare, which means clear sea. And there we have seafood, fresh seafood. It's really several. Look what we are now passing. Every small city that we are passing through to arrive to Gallipoli is full of something incredibly particular. Every piazza has a church or something architecturally very important. So I love to be here. It's still so authentic. Everything is so authentic. Which cuisine I prefer? Oh, look at this. Someone asked me in the questions what kind of cuisine is my favorite, and definitely I choose Italian cuisine as number 1 in the world. I love the fact that every city has, every small city has so much art and history, and living in Italy, it's really living in a, like living in a museum under the open sky. You have the piazza, you have your coffee, and then you have the view on the most beautiful architectural opera dell'arte, as Italians would say. Now we are going to Gallipoli, and we are on the road, and there I'm going to show you a little bit of the city. Gallipoli is famous as a city of pescatori, fishermen. Look at this. Look how gorgeous is this. On our way we have this gorgeous style, hacienda style, Mediterranean, beautiful buildings. We are entering the city of Gallipoli. There is no one walking here, so I can be free of the mask. This is how it looks like. Fisherman area where we're going to have a lunch today. It's a bit cloudy, but I hope it will not rain today. Now we're going to visit area around the castello, around castle. I'm wearing Alberta Ferretti coat, Max Mara skirt, Prada shoes and Prada bag, and of course my Fendi glasses. Gallipoli is very famous for their fishermen. They are still hunting in traditional way, going out at 10:30 in the evening and then coming back very early in the morning, around 7 o'clock. Here you can get fresh fish, like just taken from the sea. Fisherman's net all over the place. During the summer here is full of people, full of tourists. There are gorgeous beaches also around. Guarda quanto pesci, c'è pane, per cui lo stanno concentrando.
Togliamo.
Poi c'è la sorpresa.
Quella amica tua.
Mare Chiaro restaurant is practically right in front of the old town, because Gallipoli town is divided into modern part and old town. You can go also by foot, but because it was a bit cold, we decided to move with a car. Gallipoli also, as any other town in Puglia, is decorated in Christmas spirit. Now we are coming in the center, city center, so I have to put the mask on because here there are a bit of people. Oh, you have to see this.
Oggi è solo vita commerciale. Mi piacciono quelli che danno fastidio.
Breakfast with a view, my bar. Outfit today, I have a Prada jacket, Prada shoes, Prada skirt, a Miu Miu purse. Things that I usually do not have for breakfast every day. Polignano a Mare. Today is the 21st. The city is empty. Check this. So many of your questions arrived regarding photography. How to pose. Can you believe it? It's 21st of December. How to choose good background. Who is my photographer? I'm very spontaneous when it's about photography. I walk around and when I see a place that I like, I'm just trying to take the most natural pose, taking good care that my foot never goes toward the camera but on the side, because that's visually makes legs longer and figure longer, and also it's always better to have a half profile. Also, when you're sitting, the same rule, one leg in extension and make your hands busy. It will always look better. Leg in extension, never towards camera, remember. Then I received the question, how old is your husband? My husband is 9 years older than me, so he is now 61, because I'm 52. How to understand that the man is the right one on the early stage? I think it's impossible. You have to understand that you're sharing the same goals, same values, and you have the same standards, and that's absolutely impossible in the early stage. Alberobello, which literally means beautiful tree. What is a trullo? A trullo is a small dwelling built from the local limestone with dry stone walls and a characteristic conical roof. It is a traditional and simple type of the structure which you'll see around this part of Puglia. The restaurant that I recommend you with my heart. From the main course you see behind me, it right from the church, like some 50 meters, and then this angle, and here is the restaurant. Don't miss it if you come to Alberobello. Oh, it would be so good to do some shopping, but shops are unfortunately closed. If you wish to make a selfie, it's always good to be as distant as possible from the monument. The truly in Puglia town of Alberobello, famous worldwide for their beauty and unique characteristics, and represents one of the most extraordinary examples of Italian folk architecture. They were built in a particular historical period when the construction of stable dwellings was highly taxed. The inhabitants of the region showed a great capacity to adapt and an exceptional cleverness in coming up with the idea for the truly temporary houses built with the local stone. Alberobello is universally known as the capital of the trulli. Here, each trullo is of a different shape and size. Unique constructions. They are sometimes combined in a complex of communicating houses, while others are built on 2 levels. Most of them feature a grey cone-shaped roof that ends with a sphere or a hemisphere shape. The interior, arranged as a single chamber, consists niches for a fireplace, bed, and various furniture. The structure assures excellent indoor climate control, cool in the summer and warm in winter. Even the church follows the same architectural style. Another question that I received is, where were you born and what is my nationality? I'm born in Serbia. I studied and lived in Switzerland for 20 years, so I'm Swiss as well. I lived in France. I have a French nationality also. I'm married to Italian and now I live in Italy. I'm speaking 5 languages and learning Russian as a 6th one. We finished our day in Locorotondo, the beautiful small city close to city Mare, also in Puglia. And we decided to come here thanks to so many pictures that we saw posted on social, as this year maybe is the most beautiful city, the most beautifully decorated city in the whole Puglia. This wonderful atmosphere, I think, inspired my answer to your question, how do you stay motivated? You always look so fine. I really have to admit that what you see on surface is not always what is behind that surface, and I really have sometimes struggles like every single person, like to find my motivation. I think the most important thing to stay motivated is to stay focused, like not to think about so many things at the same time, to make a plan and choose your goals for the day, small goals for that day, and like make a list and just going through that list, like finishing as much as you can during that day, but not being harsh to yourself if you don't manage to accomplish everything or each task that you put in front of yourself. I have to say that experience helps a lot, and with the maturity and with the time, you will learn how to fight your demons, if I may say like that, whatever that is. Even if you're lazy, even if you don't feel like doing anything, it's also normal. There are days like that, but it shouldn't be weeks and months like that, especially during this very particular period, historical
Buongiorno a
period.
voi.
Why I brought you here? Several reasons. The most important one is that many of your questions are regarding dieting and my dieting, which is much more complex question than it seems. I could give you generic answers like you have to drink 3 liters of water and eat fresh vegetables and fruits, but that wouldn't be the truth. This was once a font of water, and these were panieri for things. Now let's go to eat. Food is the most important fuel for our bodies. What kind of food we have today? But really, natural food, fruits and vegetables are made of proteins, vitamins, minerals, everything what our body needs. What I found out recently in the year of bio products is that there is like 90% of the food on the market coming from genetically modified seeds. What that means? That means that seed produced the fruits that are practically useless for our body. Try to do your own research and you'll see it. So my mainly preoccupation is, while I'm eating, that the food that I'm using as a fuel for my body is absolutely organic. Like in this restaurant, Masseria, Stanzie. I will take you afterwards to visit the whole property, which is made of everything organic. After abundant lunch, the best thing to do is to go for a walk and do some. Let's see what it has here. Small tree, lemon tree, but full of lemons. Look how gorgeous is this lemon. Here is everything from their own property.
Carciofo.
Different kind of salads.
Questa è una bellinese, la razza, mangiare integrativo.
Sì.
C'è una bellina, no?
Sì. Buongiorno. E questo cos'è?
Questo è un semicotto misto, capra e pecora.
E quanti mesi?
E questo una ventina di giorni c'è ancora.
Ah, ventina di giorni?
Sì, ancora sì.
Di pecore o di capre che abbiamo visto alla strada?
Sì.
Cosa?
Capra e pecora, metà.
Capra e pecora?
Sì.
Là c'è l'altro già pronto.
Ah, qua è già pronto. Bellissimo. E poi solo uso per ristorante oppure vendete?
No, viene venduto anche.
Can you imagine that once this was a house and families were living inside? This one is a little bit bigger. Ready to go inside. I'm claustrophobic. Just kidding. That would be all for this video. During this trip, I didn't have time to exercise, but I was walking every day at least 10 kilometers, which is my trick when I have no time to do my workout. The next video, I will also continue to give answers on your questions. There are so many questions like what are my more affordable favorite brands, how tall I am, how many kilos I have, what are my beauty secrets, what procedures, face procedures I recommend, and so on and so on.